Hi, this is me, Maseo. I'm a student with a passion for learning biology concepts. I enjoy teaching topics that interest me, and in this video, we'll be learning about the cardiovascular system. This video will cover the heart anatomy and the locations that blood passes as it travels the body. We'll learn about blood vessels and how they facilitate gas exchange, and we'll get a brief overview of the components of blood. It's important to first understand anatomical position to have an idea of which parts of the heart are being discussed. Anterior is the term for the front of the body, and posterior describes the back of the body. To understand which sides of the body are anatomical left and right, imagine yourself as the person being discussed. For example, the hand that you perceive as your right hand is anatomically your right hand, and it's on the anatomical right side of your body. Let's learn the anatomy of the heart. This is the anterior or front view of the heart. The heart is located in the center of the chest, slightly to the left. The heart's job is to continuously circulate blood throughout the body to deliver oxygen and nutrients and remove waste products. The heart has two atria, which receive blood, and two ventricles, which pump blood. You might be wondering, what's the difference between arteries and veins? Arteries carry blood away from the heart, while veins carry blood back to the heart. A major role of the cardiovascular system is transporting oxygen throughout the body. This means that blood can be oxygen-rich or oxygen-poor. To depict this, oxygen-rich areas are colored red, while oxygen-poor areas are colored blue. This might look a little overwhelming at first, but with time, you'll begin to find it more intuitive. Of course, this drawing is not anatomically correct. However, it will give us a foundation for understanding the pathway of blood through the heart. We'll start off with the right atrium. Blood flows from the right atrium, passing through the tricuspid valve, into the right ventricle. Blood is pumped away from the heart via the pulmonary artery. Blood goes through the process of gas exchange in the lungs, which we'll talk about later, and is brought back to the heart from the lungs thanks to the pulmonary veins. Blood enters the left atrium of the heart and travels past the tricuspid valve into the left ventricle. Blood in the left ventricle is then shot up through the aorta and provides oxygen-rich blood to the entire body. Gas exchange occurs again in the body. Finally, the inferior and superior vena cava bring blood back to the right atrium. Wow, that was a lot of information, but hopefully you now have an understanding of how blood flows throughout the body. Our next topic, gas exchange, will help us understand more about these areas where blood changes color. Gas exchange. There are two types of gas exchange that occur in the body. On the left of this drawing, there's the pulmonary circuit, which occurs in the alveoli of the lungs. On the right side of this drawing, we'll see the systemic circuit, which occurs in the rest of the body. Oxygen from the lungs enters the bloodstream. The oxygen-rich blood travels to capillaries throughout the body. In non-lung capillaries, oxygen is deposited and exchanged for carbon dioxide, also known as CO2. Carbon dioxide enters the bloodstream and travels to the lungs. Now in the lung capillaries, the carbon dioxide is released into the alveoli of the lungs and is exhaled. To recap, in the pulmonary circuit, oxygen-poor blood enters the capillaries surrounding the alveoli of the lungs. Oxygen from the alveoli attaches to the hemoglobin in the red blood cells. Those red blood cells then travel to the systemic circuit in the rest of the body, where oxygenated blood gives oxygen to tissues to facilitate cell functions. The deoxygenated blood then travels back to the pulmonary circuit for the cycle to continue repeating. Now, let's explore the components of blood. Red blood cells contain hemoglobin. Hemoglobin carries oxygen and carbon dioxide for gas exchange. White blood cells help the body fight infection and other diseases. Platelets prevent and stop bleeding in the case of an injury. The fourth and last main component of blood is plasma. Plasma transports nutrients, hormones, and proteins throughout the body. As you can see, the cardiovascular system is a complex system that provides blood supply throughout the body. Composed of the heart, arteries, veins, and capillaries, this system is a vital component of our survival. Please consider subscribing to Biology Kids to support future educational biology videos. Thank you.